All right, I'm just gonna get started then. So I call this meeting to order at 6:02 p.m. As of right now, Cody and Sarah are unexcused. Oh, that might be somebody coming in. That's Sarah. Okay, as of right now, it's just Cody. So let's do approval. Actually, let's have our guests introduce themselves real quick. So I know we had a few new faces in. Actually, everybody can introduce themselves because the new. Oh, we lost Nikki. Okay, technical difficulties tonight. But how about everybody can go around and introduce themselves? We can go on the order of my screen if you want. So it's kind of in order. But my name is Chloe. I'm the president of student government. I've been here for 3 years. And then next I have Mindy on my screen.
My name is Mindy Dongo, and I am a current freshman at the Mount. This is my first year.
Awesome. I have Ben next.
So my name is Ben Ford. I'm currently a freshman at the Mount, and I'm going to be on the ballot coming up for the voting for SGA.
Cool beans. Now I have Ren.
Hey guys, I'm Ren. I am a second year and I'm also going to be on the ballot, and I'm also the president of the Sexuality and Gender Alliance.
Justina.
Hi, I'm Justina, and I'm the treasurer and secretary currently of the SGA, and this is my second year.
Corey.
Hi, I was supposed to be on the ballot, but I screwed up, didn't get the 8 things that I need. So I'm going to be running a write-in campaign, but it is my first year at MWCC.
Awesome. We're happy to have you. Kathy.
So I'm Kathy Matson. I am the director of student life and one of the SGA advisors. And I'm just going to mention also, since Mindy didn't, she's going to be running a write-in campaign also. She didn't get her signatures. So just make note of that, everybody, when elections start next week.
Oh, that going to go out in the minutes? Or we're just going to send out, I'll send out an email just as a reminder to everybody afterwards.
Yeah, who's running a write-in.
Hmm?
Yeah, you can send out a reminder about who's running the write-in campaigns.
Yeah, we'll do. Jason.
Thanks, Chloe. Hi, everybody. Jason Zaleski, Dean of Students at Mount Wachusett, and I'm coming up on my 9th anniversary at the Mount.
Awesome. Thank you, Jason. Nikki?
Hi, can everyone hear me? My microphone wasn't working.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I'm Nikki Ramos. This is actually my first year at Mount Wachusett, and I'm a legal studies major.
Awesome. Thank you. Sarah?
Thank you, Chloe. I'm Sarah. This is my second year at the Mount, and I'm the vice president of SGA.
Awesome. And Candace, if you can, if your mic is.
I'm good, I think. Candace Shivers. I'm what you would call a super senior. I've been at the Mount going on 19 years. I'm the faculty liaison, and I apologize, my camera's not on. I'm actually literally leaving the Mount now to go home. But yeah, my role is faculty liaison, and like I said, I've been here almost 19 years.
Awesome. Thank you. And welcome, Dr. Isley. It's good to have you. All right. So just real quick before we have our guests come in for the presentation, let's just go through the approval of the minutes from September 17th. Has anybody had the chance to go and look through that? Granted, just Sarah and Justina, have you guys had a moment to go through the minutes? Obviously, Justina, I know you have. But
I wrote them.
Yes.
You have. All right. So is there any discussion on the minutes? I've picked out a few things that I noticed. Okay, so I noticed as when you put in the guests, Jacina, the person you put in for Angela Jean, that's actually Destiny Lawabe. She was on somebody else's device. The other thing I mentioned is for the student body liaison. We temporarily appointed that to Cody, not me. And then under old business, we have some things in there from May 6th, May 10th, and May 12th. I'm not entirely sure.
I copy and paste, I might have missed a spot.
Yeah. So yeah, there's G, H, I, and J are all, or at least G through I are all from like May. And then at the end for the next SGA meeting, it's not September 2nd. It's the 27th right now. But that's all I saw. So then Kathy, correct me if I'm wrong, but we would table that, right? And then vote for it for next meeting?
No, you can actually entertain a motion to accept the minutes as amended
Okay,
with those amendments, and then we don't have to bring them up again.
okay. So I entertain the motion to pass the or to approve the minutes as amended.
I second that.
First, you need to make a motion.
I'm confused.
You say
So
so
I
moved.
entered as
Oh,
I
so
entertained
moved.
it, so,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
And
And
then I did.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. Any discussion that we just had? No? All in favor? Oop, somebody's trying to come in.
I
I
All right, motion passes. All right, and now we're gonna take a second to welcome our guests. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves? Or for the NECHI team?
Sure. Hi, Chloe. Sorry, I was muted before. Thanks for having us here and appreciate everybody. Learning about NECHI. I don't know who else is here. I can't see. I'm assuming it's Tiffany.
It is.
Okay. Okay, Tiffany, why don't you introduce yourself and then I will.
All right. Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm Tiffany Parker. I am the Director of Institutional Research and Assessment here at Mount Wachusett Community College, and I have been the co-chair of our NECHI steering team with Dr. Eisler.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm John Eisler. I am the Interim Vice President of Academic Affairs, and I've been co-chairing the committee with Tiffany for the last 18 months, 20 months, maybe it is now. So what is NECHI? I think you all want to probably know that, and why we're here. So NECHI is our accrediting body. So across the country, there are regional accreditation bodies for higher ed institutions, and NECHI is the one for New England. And every 10 years, colleges undergo a full reaccreditation of the college. And the accreditation is important because that tells the world, and you could say the student, and you could even say the consumer and the government, that we are an institution of quality, and that we meet the standards that are established in our region. And as you can imagine, New England, there's a lot of great colleges and universities, so the standards are pretty high. The process is pretty rigorous. And what we have to do is, and this started in the fall of 2020, is that right? Yeah. We launched this process where we do a self-study. And the self-study is a comprehensive evaluation of the entire institution, from our services, our academic programs, all the way to our facilities, as well as student life. And so we have 9 categories or standards that we have to address in this comprehensive document, which is a 100-page document, plus a lot of tables, a lot of data, coming to close to 400 pages. So it's a very thorough look at the college, and we have to reveal the data that we have on hand and really basically write a big report about it. And I'm sorry, my battery's getting low. And so this is it. This is our 10th year, and we're doing this review. And what's going to happen next is that we've now submitted our self-study to the organization, and they are now going to come visit the campus in November 7th through 9. And what they're going to do is have a jam-packed set of meetings from Monday through Wednesday of that week, meeting with all kinds of different groups on campus. And basically what they're going to try to do is make sure that what we put in the report aligns with what they find by talking to people on campus and observe with their own eyes on campus. And so one of the things that we're asking of student government is to help us, one, organize an event to enable the NECHI visiting team to meet with students in a large assembly. And they're going to have questions that they're going to want to ask of the group. And we can talk with you about when the ideal time would be for that. We're sort of at the mercy of the visiting team's schedule. The chair of the visiting team is a president of another college, so we don't really have control necessarily over when these meetings are, but we'd love to hear from you when some ideal times would be. As well as we're thinking that we might want to have a meeting, even though it's not required, but we're thinking it would be nice to have a meeting with the visiting team and SGA specifically. And I just thought that would be great for them to hear from student leaders. And then the report is available, or it will be any day now, up on iConnect and the new version of our intranet. And if anyone would like to read the 370 something page document, you're welcome to. But you could read one chapter, which is chapter 5 on students, and that might be most interesting for you. But you're certainly welcome, and we love your feedback. And so let me stop there and see if Tiffany has anything she'd like to share, and if there's any questions. Anything you want to add? Mm-hmm.
So I dropped the link in the chat on the MWCC accreditation page. We have uploaded the document. It is a massive file. We got it compressed down to 20 megs. So please definitely do not print it. But as John said, chapter 5 is our standard on students. And so I think that would be really helpful if you have time to give it a scan. It's about a dozen pages for that specific chapter, so very digestible.
Sorry, I just lost my audio for a second. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm sorry, Tiffany, did you ask me something, or does anyone have questions?
So one question that was just in the chat was, is it a PDF? But Tiffany did answer that. It is PDF.
So it's really it was a big endeavor, and we value the input of students, and the visiting team very much will value the opportunity to speak with students. And I'll just let you know, our approach has been one of complete transparency and candor. We're not sugarcoating anything. We're not trying to put ourselves in the best light. We actually gave a report that you could say is warts and all. The challenge to us was really to reveal the challenges that the college has and to uncover them and to organize them and to let NETCHI know, look, these are some areas that we want to improve. Here's our plan for improving it. So this isn't the kind of situation where we're trying to pull the wool over anyone's eyes just to get accredited. We really look at it as a process of self-improvement. And so that was really, so when you read it, you might say, well, this is kind of tough. You're kind of tough on yourselves. But that was our intention all along, was to be very honest and reveal what some of our challenges are, and then to really give some thought to how we're going to continuously improve the institution. We just want to let you know this, that it's available, and hopefully in the next couple weeks, we can come back with a definitive date when the students would meet. And then I'm going to go back to the site visit team and say, I think a gap in the original plan was that we don't have a specific SGA meeting. So is there a better time for SGA to meet? Evenings, are those better times? Or is there a time during the day when you also meet?
So currently our SGA is doing our meetings in the evening just because of everybody's class schedule and how everything is just crazy. I'm not sure, like we'd have to talk about it and see if there is a specific day or time that somebody like, how long do you think the meetings would take?
45 minutes to an hour.
Okay, so maybe our group, because the majority of these members, we're having elections next week. So the majority of the people who are in the call right now will be elected members of the SGA, probably by the end of next week. But we'll all be able to like come together and kind of like figure out maybe a time that works for everybody to get together and meet. But right now it's just kind of Tuesday evenings was the most convenient for at least the students, just because our class schedules.
That actually might work for them, a Tuesday evening. So we'll have to see. We'll propose it to them, and we'll go from there. We just don't have much control over the schedule, but we want to try to advocate for a time that would work best for you. And this is available to the entire college community, so all students are welcome to read it. And we're going to have some public forums as well leading up to it. So sometime in October, we're going to have some public forums where students can ask questions about the process. Basically, we want there to be knowledge about the NETCHI process on campus. We want people to be kind of excited about it. It's kind of a big deal. And these folks could literally walk around the hall, grab a random student and say, what do you know about NETCHI? And it would be really great if all of our students had some awareness about it and could do a good job of representing their perspective about the college. So there's going to be some public relations that we're doing on campus, some signage and some messaging, so people are aware, like, who are these people with suits on walking around on campus. Anything, we might call upon you for some help there and just getting the word out. So we'd appreciate that. We're going to go to, the school newspaper and billboards around campus. But anything that you can do through SGA would be most appreciated. Great. Any other questions? All right, I guess not. So you know how to find us if you need to. If there are any other questions that come up later, and we really appreciate your time and your dedication. And I know some of you had already met with us. I know, Chloe, you were on a call with us quite a few months ago to talk about this process. And Stephanie graduated, so she's not here anymore. But that was really good to connect over that. And so we hope there to be, that there's more opportunity for that. So if students really, it's a great way to learn about your college and to really immerse yourself in it. So we appreciate your leadership and your time tonight. And thanks for having us in your meeting.
Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. And
Yep.
oh, Tiffany, did you want to say something?
I was just gonna say thank you all. We appreciate the time.
Thank you for
we-
coming. Well, I was gonna say it's good for us to know about these things. So
Yeah, for sure. We definitely want to have, I think, some better flow than we had last year with SGA. With, you know, we're on the academic side, and a lot of times we don't really have much contact. So I think if we, you know, if we on our side make some effort to make sure that we're looping you guys in, and getting your input and getting SGA members on some more committees, I think that'll be a really great way to just be more engaged. Great. Thank you all very much. Have a great evening.
awesome. Thank you. You as well.
Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.
Alrighty. All right, so I guess we'll move on to reports then. Was there any discussion on the Neshi presentation that anybody wanted to talk about before we move? Ooh, somebody coming in.
I think for me, just because this is like the first time I'm hearing of it, I don't know if it's something that maybe it's like he was saying that there's just needs to be a little more PR when it comes to it, because maybe not enough students know about it. I think a good strategy to have there is finding a way for students to have pride in the school that they go to and improving the school so that, you know, at the end of the day, it looks nice on a self-report or even, you know, on an accredited school form.
How do you spell it?
I think it's Neche. I'm pretty sure. Okay.
Chloe,
Yes.
Chloe, this is Candace. First, if you're so inclined, I would read the whole report, because I think, not you, but you know, if you can, it's a lot, but it's not a tough read. But if you're not, I would actually read two sections. I would read the students and I would read the faculty stuff. And the reason I say that is because you all are interacting with the faculty, right? That's one of the main people that groups of people you're interacting with. You should see how that's supposed to flow and what's going on. My opinion, right? That's just my opinion. But and just a thought, and I was thinking, if you wanted to get the whole thing read, everyone could have a part that they read and sort of report out. And that way it's not one person having to sit down. And not saying you need to do it. I'm just thinking about, you know, how I would attack it. One person takes one part of it, sort of give a summary of it, and then everyone sort of knows what's in the whole program. And that way you don't have to read 300 and plus pages. Just thinking about it from a student standpoint, this is super important. These are, you know, this is the place that you're getting your education. So just thoughts. That's what I do. That's why you guys keep me around.
Thank you, Candace. Actually, yeah, that's a good idea. Especially because we're gonna have everybody, and there are 9 sections, correct? So if there are 9 sections, then there's gonna be like, wait, now I have to count. Oh my gosh, I've done math all day. I can't count simple. Wait, how many people? I'll just go look at the participants. And then subtract 3. Actually, that brings us to exactly 9. So actually, that would work out well. So maybe for the next meeting, I can try and get that divided up. And like, is anybody opposed to that?
So I'm not making it. Now I sound like I'm a faculty member giving more work. I'm not saying you have to do that. Maybe see if that's something that when I'm not here, talk about it. But I just wanted to put it out there, and I just don't want people to, like, I feel like I'm giving you guys work now. But if you wanted to digest the whole thing, that's the way you could digest it, and it not be one person reading all of it. I just wanted to put that out there. Please don't give them more work, Chloe, today. I feel like
So
That's
maybe
my
we'll-
name. Okay, but just think about it is what I'm saying.
yeah, maybe we can bring it up and talk about it again at the next meeting and then see what everybody's thoughts are again after thinking about it for 2 weeks, or even at the bi-weekly meeting we can discuss it as well. I mean yeah, that's what this is. The off meeting weeks. Yeah. But yeah, thank you, Candace. Any other comments, concerns, questions on the presentation?
I really like Candace's idea, even though it's giving us more work. I really do agree that it's important to understand what the self-assessment means, what that means on our side, and what that means for the students. So I'm sure if a student goes and, like they said, they hear about this, they go and bring up the form, they're going to look at 300 pages and go, I don't want to read that. So they might come to us and say, we have questions about this. And so, I mean, it's going to be nice for us to have a general knowledge on hand as the SGA, to be able to speak to this and bring to light important factors that our students might want to think about as they go to college. And what can they do, if I'm sure this is a question I even have, what can I as a student do to affect this in a positive light, in a negative light, and whatever light that I can do.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea. But why don't we all still, just for like the sake of like really like evaluating everybody's workload as well in the upcoming weeks or so. Usually the first few weeks are rocky in terms of workload, trying to get into the swing of things. But why don't we just give it another 2 weeks, and then at the next meeting we can discuss if that's something we wanted to do. Candace, I will go and read the faculty and student sections though. I will take you up on that. So then at least I have an idea.
I said you should. I think it is something that you guys should have, you know, if nothing else, those two things you definitely should have a good grasp for, in my opinion. All right, I'm going to stop talking now.
No problem. Any other comments before we move on? Alrighty, so we're gonna move on to reports, internal reports, Constitution Committee. Sarah, do you have anything?
No.
Okay. Ways and Means Committee, Justina? Okay. Student trustees, Cody. It's not here. Student Advisory Council. I guess we had a meeting, but I didn't get an email for it a few weeks ago. So our next one is actually October 13th. So we won't have anything till then. Student Body Liaison. Cody's not here. Academic Senate, Cody's not here. Student Success Committee, Justina.
No, I missed that meeting also. It was like the day that like after we assigned them, and I didn't know it was coming.
Oh, okay. Academic advice, oh, that's Cody also. Something new we are trying to, and I know, Jason, you mentioned this, is the Ready Education Committee. Are you ready to find a student rep for that? Okay.
Yes, I would love to have a student. Kathy and I talked about this today. We got the contract signed. So now we need to build that internal team. There'll be lots of opportunities moving forward for students to get involved. And I'm sure we'll be showing demos to the SGA. What we're really looking for is someone to serve on, the app launch team. Really where we start to do some build out to decide kind of where we're going to get started, what the design features are going to look like. So it really is a student that's going to be comfortable with some regular meetings, with administrators and folks at the college to really help make some decisions that will begin to build the foundation for that app.
Okay, thank you. So are you ready to pick somebody like right now?
I do not want to pick anyone. I would love for SGA to nominate or for someone to volunteer, because it's not going to be a super heavy lift in terms of, Ready Ed does the work, but it's consultative, right? I think where the work will be important is that I really don't want to have any meeting about this product that's for students without a student at that meeting. Does that make sense? I think that's a pretty fair, we want to do with students all the time, never for a student. So I'm really looking for someone, and again, we're going to have to be flexible with people's schedules. But I don't want to overwhelm someone with meetings if their plate is already full. And I know I'm talking to a group of people whose plates are already full. So you got to give me at least a side dish portion of your plate for the next couple of weeks to really actively participate.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I did misspeak. I meant it. Were you ready for like us to go through with trying to find somebody right now? I didn't mean necessarily for you to pick somebody. Okay. Can I make a nomination then, Kathy? Or yeah. All right. So I'd like to nominate Nicole. I feel like Nicole would be very good for this position. She is bilingual and she does look at things in a way that is like, maybe it's like I wouldn't think of, just because from her background is different than mine. And I feel like everybody brings a totally special, unique package to the table. But I figured I'd nominate Nicole.
I would love that. I don't know if it was my turn to talk or. No, I would absolutely love that. I am very, very interested. I'd love to give feedback on it because I do have somewhat of a unique perspective on the world and things. So I'm definitely interested.
I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but I'll put that to motion.
I would volunteer. I'm interested in it as well. I mean, I signed up for tutoring lately, and they asked me what technologies I was fluent with on the campus, and I'd love to get knowledge about an upcoming technology to implement it and help students carry over to the next chapter of the college if it's going to go in that direction.
Okay.
Would it be possible to have more than one student?
I was just going to ask that, Justina. Could we have 2 reps on the committee?
Okay, we can.
Yeah. I mean, there's really no limit. I just want to be respectful of folks' time. If we had 2, I think the advantage is that if one of the students couldn't make it, that we would still have a student in the space. So I'm all about, all about having 2. I'm all about having 5 students. I'm keeping the MWCC employee group rather small at this initial phase. We're going to do a build out, and then I'm sure we will be showing it to SGA, to other groups, the All College Forum, those types of places as well, looking for feedback. The folks at Ready Ed do this for a living, so they know how to launch. So they're just really looking for a group of folks to help us sort of get started. So this would be that group.
If I could just quickly mention, if you're thinking about this and you're like, I don't know that I could do it because I'm not technically savvy or I don't know anything about applications, I would prefer to actually have that person be a part of the team. Just on a personal level, when it comes to using an app, people from all different backgrounds come to the college, whether they be technically savvy, older, younger, you name it. So I think having someone in the group that knows how to use a phone, but doesn't really understand apps or how they work, just from an accessibility standpoint. And you hit on the head, Chloe, with the dual language with Nicole. I think that's a huge bonus to have for accessibility. Another thing to have for accessibility is thinking about like color blindness is another thing that you think about when you're looking at an application and the UI design and things like that. Just layout, where menus are. Is it easy to find things? Is it something that's not going to take too much time to get from one place to the other and inside the app? Obviously, the more features you put into it, I wouldn't say the harder it is to use, but that could inherently introduce features that may cause the app to not load correctly, is I think what I'm trying to say. I'm very technically savvy, so I'm on the other end of the spectrum where I can kind of think outside the box, but I prefer to have someone who's not technically savvy to be like, I can't figure out how this works.
Yeah, thank you, Ben. We did, so this is actually, we did have Ready Education, and yeah, I see your hand, Nicole, I'm coming. But we did have Ready Education come in, I think before the majority of you started coming to meetings. We did have the Ready Education team come in and kind of do a demo. They are compliant with like all of the, forgive me, I'm forgetting the name, but like any like additional services. The app is compliant with all of that. And so like that's because that's something that Nicole did bring up. That was the perspective that, thank you, Nikki. It is fully ADA compliant. Because that's something that Nikki did bring up, that I would have never even thought to ask that. So I think it's extremely important that we do have those thoughts. So thank you, Ben, and also thank you, Nikki. And did you have something you wanted to add as well, Nikki?
Yeah, I think it would be great to work with more than one person, because while I have a unique perspective, it's great to have many different, I think, opinions, because Eli might think of something or something else, but I might not necessarily think of for someone. I'd like to think that I am like technologically savvy and pretty good with computers and technology. So, I think that would be great to work with more than one student. I think that'd be awesome.
Great.
Really all that tech savvy. So if that's someone you're looking for, I can probably help with that part. Oh dear.
I was just gonna mention, I've like I like to be in on beta tests and all sorts of games and applications in general, so I can try to provide feedback on providing feedback if that helps, like even if you're not like, you kind of scatterbrained maybe, or like what's useful to developer, maybe we can focus group it a little bit and get our ideas out there and in a productive way. I'm willing to work with everybody in a group.
That's good. I guess it sounds like you've got a lot of people who are very interested to help, Jason.
Sounds good to me. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call it a problem, I guess. That's good, because then, we're still getting involved in the, it's what's going to help, the student body. So yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be an awesome thing. Like even just using the demo, like the demo that they gave me to sign into on my phone, it was very easy to navigate. Oops, my computer almost just shut off. It is very easy to navigate. So I don't know, people who aren't necessarily tech savvy, I don't even know if they'll have a problem, because everything's very well organized. But that's still something that would also be an amazing perspective to bring to the table as well. So maybe, I don't know how you want me to do that, Jason. Do you want me to have anybody who's interested email me and then I'll email you the names, or do you want me to just have them all directly email you, or just list of names now, or how would you like to stay in contact with them?
I'm going to put my email in the chat, and folks who are interested, email me and I will add you to the email list. How's that sound? Because I think Ready Ed is going to do some of the invitations because they're really going to lead the meeting. So I'm going to build a roster for them. And so I guess I will let folks know, but we may be hearing directly from Ready Ed. So if you see a Ready Ed invite, that's what that is. So I'm going to put my email in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you, Jason. Nikki wants to know, what is the estimated launch date?
Good question. What I've been told is it's about a 6 to 8 week build out, and then some beta testing. I think it would be great if we had this thing launched in January. I think what you're trying to do is a soft launch for folks, and then we want to get about a 90 to 95% adoption rate. And the best way to do that is at the start of a semester, as folks are rolling in, returning back to, and we have such variability from fall to spring. So the group of students that are here this fall may not be the same group of students that are here in the spring. So really timing your launch. But I imagine that we'll do a soft launch before then, and sort of a big splash in January.
Nikki also brings up, maybe we could do some kind of like launch event. That would be actually really cool to get it promoted, but also kind of be like, oh yeah, recruiting here. SGA helps do this, I feel like that would be kind of cool. Awesome.
Yeah,
So
that's the type of energy and ideas we're looking for in this committee. How do we get that adoption rate? In order for this to be successful, we really need students to download the app so that we can communicate and send all the important information that we talked about in terms of being able to interact with students out of pocket, right? I mean, the goal here is to be able to push information to students very easily and not over email all the time.
And I also like what Ben just said. It's kind of like a somebody just came in and then left. But Ben just said that in addition to having an event, like a big launch event, maybe we can have like a presentation or like some kind of like a workshop to learn how to use the app, how to get on, how to sign in, how to navigate, stuff like that. But that's also an awesome idea. Thank you, Ben. We'll have to roll all these through, especially if you guys are actually going to be on the committee and stuff, but you can, that wouldn't necessarily be, I don't think it would go through the committee though, right? It would actually come through us in student life. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we can start rolling that out too. We still have a bit of time before the app's actually available to start working on and using. But yeah, those are some awesome ideas. Thank you guys. Any other comments or anything before we continue? All right. Okay, so there are no other committees that I'm aware of. So let's do external reports. Anything from the leadership team? No? Okay. Anything, Candace, do you have anything?
Just a couple of quick things. The first thing is the Academic Senate actually is having two opening meetings in this semester and next semester. And what that means is anyone in the college can go to those meetings. I don't know, did you all get something from President Vanderhoeven about that? I don't know if he sent it out to all college or what he sent it out to. If you didn't get it, Chloe and other students, let me know and I'll give that information to you all because you guys are a part of the college. So absolutely come and see what goes on at Academic Senate if that's something that you guys are interested And the other thing, and I just got off the phone like a couple hours ago, so it wasn't just Missy Sargent, who is the, I think she's the vice president or dean. I'm not sure. I don't know people's titles at the college. Their Thrive is putting together a retention plan. And one of her goals is to get as many different constituents at the college to take a look at the retention plan. Two guesses about who the retention plan is aimed at. Can anyone guess? Anyone know? Do you guys still hear me?
Students?
Yes, there you go. It's students. So guess who should be a part of the process?
Students?
Right. You're pretty good. Who's that? Sarah, you're pretty good. You know this stuff. I believe she does have a plan to have conversations with SGA. I don't know when. So she may be reaching out to you all to probably do what was done tonight, sort of get your feedback on some of the information of retention plan. So I think that's it for me.
All right, thank you, Candace. So I'm just gonna, I've got two things. One is we are talking about the retention plan today in probably 5 or so minutes. We will be touching on that today. She did contact me. And two is if you could just actually send out the information, because I know I didn't get it. So if you could at least send it to me, and then I can distribute it, or yeah, because I did not get it.
So okay, I'll send it to you, but I wonder if either Kathy. Actually, let me think about this before I say that. I will send it to you, definitely, Chloe. I'm not sure that. Well, I guess it could go out to anybody. But yes, I'll definitely send it to you, and then have a side conversation with Kathy and Jason about possibly distributing it to more students, what that may look like or not. But definitely SGA should be involved in that.
Okay, thank you. Alrighty, so we're gonna move on to old business, which is Ready Education. I have on here, but we already kind of touched on that. Was there anything extra that you wanted to add to that, Jason? No? Okay, so we'll just move on to new business. So Sarah, do you want to give, I think Sarah's, you're giving the update on elections, correct? Or was I misinformed?
No, you weren't misinformed. I neglected to send it to Sarah.
Okay.
I did send it a few minutes ago. I don't know if you have access to your email.
Oh, yes.
If you can, I sent you an email that basically tells everything you should be giving the report on the elections and who's going to be on the ballot. So okay. I was supposed to send that to you and I forgot.
Oh, no worries. So can you still see my face, or can you not see?
We can still see you.
Okay, so 9 students have submitted a candidate request. 8 met the minimum qualifications. 5 received enough signatures to be on the ballot, and 1 decided to drop out. 3 did not receive enough signatures but are interested in running a write-in campaign. The names that are going to appear in the ballot are Eli. I'm not sure how to say the last name. Feningos. I'm sorry, I totally butchered that. But the next name is Nikki Ramos. Then it's Ben Ford, and then Ren Stoddard.
Congratulations. All right, and so elections.
Can I say one more thing? So, and then, so Mindy, Don Farrell, and Corey Baker are also planning to run the write-in campaigns, and I can't say her name. Azuzana. Yeah. Thibault Munez. I haven't heard back from her, so she literally was 1 signature away from getting on the ballot. So I'm assuming she will want to also run a write-in campaign.
Okay. I can ask because I'm in the same program as her, so I'll see her at some point. I can ask her.
Awesome. Yeah, so elections are next week. So everybody needs to be voting. And so everybody who is on the ballot, obviously I can't tell you how to vote, but everybody's going to be on the ballot, but also don't forget the write-in campaigns. Those are very important. Everybody has questions, reach out, but don't forget to vote. All right, and so any questions or comments or concerns on elections? No. Okay. So I'm gonna read to you what I have from Missy, because she did reach out to me regarding the retention plan. So she says MWCC is embarking on writing a retention plan. This plan is going to be based on our strategic plan and operational plan as well as data. But I think it's very important to have a student view of retention. My first question is, how would SGA like to participate? Would the group like to submit something in writing as to what you all see as the biggest barriers for students to stay in school? Or would you prefer that we have a couple of focus groups where students can discuss with the college staff, or both? Do you have any different suggestions? And if the group has any suggestions for solutions, we would love to hear them. I'm coming to all of you because who knows the barriers to our students better than our students? Obviously, we may not be able to solve everything that is brought up, but I'd like to know what our student body sees as priority. Thanks, Missy Sargent. So any thoughts on that? How would SGA like to participate with this?
I mean, I wouldn't mind doing the focus group. I was a member of Thrive before, so I think, I have high thoughts of them too.
Okay. Ben?
I got to agree. I think having a focus group is going to assist us finding the pain points, I think is the best way to say it, when it comes to going to college and kind of setting it. There's a lot of setting up expectations and a lot of bringing those expectations to ahead for our students. One idea that I just have off the top of my head, and we can bring this to a focus group later, would be, I guess, just more of a faculty to student meeting. Granted that yes, there are 2, 3, 4, 5,000 students or more, but trying to get as many on a, either a small group, like a 10 student to faculty meeting, just to start like getting that communication going of, okay, who's worried, who's nervous, who thinks that they're not going to make it, what can we do to assist you?
Awesome, thank you. And Nicole, did you have something as well?
I also think the focus group would be awesome, but I actually had an idea that I want to run by you guys. So as a virtual student, I really didn't know much about campus until I'd actually physically been on campus. And a big thing I noticed on campus is that all the signage in the campus is in English. It doesn't say we are diverse, we welcome you if you're diverse. At a minimum, I think would like to see signage in at least Spanish, because we are a college that has ESOL students. The sign for ESOL is actually in English too. So what I like to add, usually I tell people, imagine if you didn't speak a second language and you walk down the halls and all you see is a language you don't understand. A lot of times when you're learning another language, having your native language next to the language you're learning helps improve learning the second language. And it also shows that we embrace diversity. A lot of Massachusetts students come from Fitchburg and Leominster that have a very large Hispanic community. And only having English really doesn't feel welcoming.
Chloe, can I ask that the 2 suggestions that you all had, can you send those to me? This is Candace, because we actually have a diversity group, and those two suggestions, I think might be absolutely go on to the retention plan, but that might be something that we can do before the plan gets done. So if you would send those suggestions to me, I'm going to run it up the flagpole to see if we can get those going before the retention plan is done.
Yeah, sure. I have, so right now I have the focus group ideas for the retention plan. Everybody, I'm pretty sure everybody's in agreement with that one. From what I've heard, unless anybody has anything else, please add in any perspectives. But for the two ideas that were given was the student to faculty meetings and the multilingual signage. Did anybody have anything else they wanted to add? Any ideas, any questions, concerns, comments?
I'd be interested in just seeing what's already been attempted, what the campus is doing, and I'd look over any material. And I think going through that would probably allow me to brainstorm a little better. I mean, I assume Thrive is doing their best, and I work with Bob, and we do veteran, retention. I looked at, I'm a TA for him, so I see all the retention emails, will pop up on Blackboard all the time. So I'm familiar with. I'm assuming everyone's doing their best job, but that doesn't mean that something would just jump out at me if I'm reading something. But I just assume at this point everything is going as best as it can. It maybe perhaps post-COVID, people are, things are being wonky, maybe people are being too accelerated, jumping back into school, and then other things are getting going at the same time. I mean, there's a lot of ships going in different directions right now, so I can't assume the college is doing something wrong, but you never know. You can add things, so I'd be willing to read and see what they're already doing.
Okay. So in terms of, oh, Randy, you had something?
Yeah, just to piggyback on what Eli said, it is important that we acknowledge the work that's already been done, but we shouldn't stop there. Like, look at the support that we have for parent students. Like, we just had that event last week, and like we have the childcare and stuff like that. That's a huge stride for a college setting, but we can't stop there. We have to keep pushing that fold and find new ways to be better every day. But also don't forget the work that's been done before us.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of the focus group versus the writing idea, is everybody in favor of the focus groups over writing in something to share with them? I get some nods, some blank stares. Sarah?
So, what are we going to do with the information that we get from the focus groups? Are we going to write that down and send them in, or are we just going to, how are we going to get that information to the committee or whatever that is requesting this help or this information from students from?
So, right now, she's just kind of, she's asking how we want to get involved. She said we could submit something in writing to them, or if we prefer that we could have a couple of focus groups where students can discuss with the college staff. So we wouldn't have to like report anything back to them other than what is just talked about in that conversation. We would just have to show up so we can talk with them about like see some of the barriers that we might face, you know what I mean? And then kind of give the student perspective on that. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. But if there are any other suggestions or anything like that, I will right now, I'll just reach out to her. Well, not right now because she's not going to check her email tonight probably, but tomorrow I will reach out to her with all of the suggestions that we've talked about so far. So I will tell her that we are definitely interested in the focus group over the write-in suggestions. that it's good to have the student faculty meeting, which is what sounds like the focus groups are gonna be. But I'll send that to you, Candace. And then, yeah, the multi-language signs. And Justina, I know you have to go. But we'll just, if there are are there any other comments or questions? Because we literally have just the announcements left. Okay, so just a few quick announcements. We have the money game ×3 on Wednesday. There are 3 different times you can see on Involvement. You can win free money. Kathy's been telling me this all week. She's like, you can come win free money. So yeah, that's on Wednesday, this Wednesday. The New England Revolution game. The bus leaves at 9, right?
Yes. Do you want me to talk about that for a second? So we, Jason and I are heading up a group to go see a New England Revolution game on Saturday. We're taking a bus from the college at 9 a.m. We'll be back about 6 p.m., 5 or 6. We have tickets left. So if anybody from SGA would like to come, I can get you some free tickets. They were $30 tickets, which covers the bus and the admission to the game. Once you're at Gillette Stadium, Patriot Place, you would be on your own to pick up any food or anything that you want, but your transportation there and tickets to the game are free. So if you are interested, please let me know, because there's liability forms you need to do, and I can get those for you. So just shoot me an email if you want to come. And you can also tell me at the money game tomorrow, because I know you're all going to come to the money game tomorrow. If you're on campus, if you're in person for it, we have pizza at 12:30 and at 6 for both of those options. And then at 3, we have coffee and cookies, because we're all going to need coffee at that point.
Awesome. Thank you, Kathy. We also have on Thursday, not this Thursday, next Thursday, we have the spoken word artist who's coming in, as well as karaoke. That's a little ways out, but just want to give you kind of like a heads up. Karaoke is going to be Thursday, October 27th. So you're like exactly a month from today. But well, yeah, my brain's not working.
Yeah, it's 4 weeks from this Thursday. That is a really good event. It's an evening event, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. We give away lots of good prizes. We used to do cash prizes, then there'll be gift cards, but it's a costume contest and dancing and karaoke. And we have a really amazing DJ, right, Justina? So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Everybody should come to karaoke. Fun stuff. All right, and Scary Karaoke, they just mixed the name. It's karaoke, but yeah. So all right, so our next SGA meeting is we have our committee meeting, so all of our elected members, so Justina and Sarah and would be Cody. We are meeting October 4th for our committee meeting. And then everybody else, our next SGA meeting is October 11th. And I call this meeting to adjourn at 7:05 p.m. Cool beans. Bye, Jason.